What's up, guys? Crypto Muser here with your daily news and analysis in the crypto markets. Now, we have, or it seems like we have NFTs coming to the XRP Ledger. Matt Hamilton, who was a coder and a programmer for Ripple, who actually just left Ripple a couple of months ago, but he just, great follow on Twitter, by the way, always standing up for the XRP Ledger and all the FUD that XRP gets out on Twitter. But he tweeted this out, and it's been going around a lot in the last couple of days, but he said the amendment to enable native NFT support on the XRP Ledger has just today crossed the 80% threshold of approval needed. Now it has to stay above 80% support for 2 weeks to go live on the mainnet. Now, there was a question on whether it was 80% or 80% or plus 80%, and it is over 80%. So it has to stay over 80% for 2 weeks, and then that will bring NFTs the XRP Ledger, which is a huge thing for XRP. And just to verify that, Crypto Eddie tweeted out that it did break the threshold of 80%, and I believe it's at 80. Yeah, it was 82.86%. So now the clock is ticking now. It has to sit above 80% here for 2 weeks. So estimated ETA here is September 13th will be the day that NFTs will be enabled on the XRP Ledger. Now, this is just decentralization in motion right here, right? You needed to get above 80% consensus on the nodes to bring NFTs to the ledger. So, I think this is big news. The NFT. The thing about the NFT market that most people don't really understand is that most NFTs were on the Ethereum network, right? What is the Ethereum network known for? Very high transaction fees. So, for NFTs to transfer NFTs from person to person or buying and selling, the fees were ridiculous, and sometimes it would take long times to process these transactions with the NFTs. So to have NFTs be processed on the XRP Ledger, and the transactions we know on the XRP Ledger are much faster and much cheaper, that's going to change the game for NFTs for sure. A lot of people have been building NFTs on the XRP Ledger on side chains and stuff like that. But now that it's actually on the XRP Ledger where you can mint NFTs, that's going to be huge. Great day for the XRP Ledger, great day for the XRP community. I think this is just another big step for the XRP Ledger and all the programmers that are building on top of the XRP Ledger. So just want to put that news out there for you guys. So that the ETA is September 13th. So hopefully this will happen. I believe that it will. If all the votes are over 80% now, I don't see voters taking their vote away. So it seems like we have the votes. The nodes and validators have reached consensus, and NFTs will come to the XRP Ledger on September 13th. That is great news, guys. So the next thing I want to talk about, obviously we want to talk about the Ripple SEC lawsuit and everything going on there, and the SEC keeps on with this battle against crypto. Our buddy John Deaton tweeted this out, and I thought this was very important just to go through with you guys. And just showing the fact that the SEC is like the mob right now. They're trying to act like the mob. Like they can just bully crypto companies and do whatever they want to put them out of business, basically, right? So John Deaton tweeted this out. SEC modus operandi. I'm not even sure what that means. That's some Latin if you guys don't know. But so he said, Brad Garlinghouse said Ripple will ultimately spend $100 million in legal fees, which is insane. Library and Jeremy Kaufman spent a third of all funds on legal fees. Dragon Chain now spent 2 to 4 million in legal fees before the case was recently filed, and now face a long, expensive legal battle. Now, the crazy thing about all this is that what the SEC does, and I guess I'll just let John Deaton explain it to you, what they do is initially I was critical of BlockFi's extortion payment to Gary Gensler. I guess we now know that BlockFi agreed to pay $100 million in pre-suit settlement. Ripple was investigated for 30 months before a lawsuit was filed with no fraud, by the way. Ripple offered to settle with the SEC, but the SEC refused. I'm sure that, the settlement, that the Ripple was willing to pay a bunch of money, but you have to say, XRP is not a security. I'm sure the SEC was like, no, we want what we want, and we think that we can just bully you into it. But Ripple, obviously, almost 2 years now into this, is like, no, we'll take you the whole way. So then Library was investigated for, this is what's so crazy. Library was such a small company. They were investigated for 3 years before the lawsuit was filed with no fraud, again. But the messed up thing about the Library case is, so Library offered to settle with, which included dissolving the corporation and selling the founder's assets at auction. Anything short of registering the LBC token as a security, but the SEC still refused. I mean, if you look back at some of the posts that Jeremy Kauffman and Library posted, I mean, they came in with a slideshow. They were totally 100% transparent with the SEC. They said, we saw the speech that Bill Hibben gave. We want to be 100% compliant with you guys. Tell us what we need to do. Do we need to sell all of our coins? Do we need to, dissolve the corporation? Let us know what we need to do to be compliant with the SEC so we can do it the right way, right? This is an American company trying to do everything the right way with the SEC. And guess what the SEC did? They basically spat in their faces and said, no, we're putting you out of business. So Library offered all this in a settlement, and after 3 years of investigation, they still sued Library and tried to put them out of business. So after almost 4 years, and after being told the SEC investigation was over, and because no fraud was found, the SEC was closing the case at the 11th hour, and before the statute of limitations ran out, the SEC filed a case against Dragon Chain, claiming Dragon coins are securities. So you see what they do? They start a lawsuit, basically making the company pay all these legal fees, right, to try to put them out of business. And if that doesn't do it, then they file the lawsuit. And then obviously, when you start the lawsuit, then the legal fees start even more, and you basically, cause them millions and millions of dollars in legal fees. So what John Deaton is saying here, do you see a pattern? Investigate for years, causing a project millions in legal fees before then suing them. Then sue them when they have limited resources, which increases the likelihood they tap out. With real fraud going on in traditional and crypto markets, this is how the SEC works. Are they the mob or not? I mean, that is how the mob works. They muscle you into going out of business, or they muscle you into paying up, right? And that is the SEC's game. And it's the mess up thing is Library token, right? Library, Ripple, Dragon Chain, no fraud. Anybody that's been in crypto for 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever, however long, they see the fraud in this market, right? They see the fraud in the traditional markets also. You think the SEC would spend these resources to go after all the fraud and corruption and the pump and dumps and the scams out there? You think they'd be going after those guys, but no, they go after real American companies here. And then you see things about, I saw this clip of Gary Gensler talking about how he wanted to help Chinese companies stay on the S&P 500. I mean, who are we, America, or are we helping China? This is what I can't stand about this guy, Gary Gensler, and the SEC. They do nothing for investors. The investors they are sworn to protect, they do nothing for them. They won't meet with the 72,000 plus investors in John Deaton that they, took down 15 billion out of the XRP token in the market cap when they sued Ripple. They won't talk to us, right? But he'll talk to his. And this is what I love this. I was going to show this to you guys, but I couldn't find the interview. But John Deaton was on Fox News, Fox Business the other day, and he straight up said, he won't meet, Gary Gensler won't meet with us, the 72,000 or so investors he claims to protect, but he'll meet with Vanguard, right, 7 times in the last year, because Vanguard holds his 100, whatever it is, 120 million in investments. I mean, he cares obviously about himself and about his power. He does not care about the investors he's sworn to protect. That's why I believe that he will be gone sometime right after the midterms into next year. And even Ben Armstrong here, BitBoy Crypto here, said the same. An article came out, and if you guys haven't seen the article that I think what's her name, Rosalind Layton, who has written I think about 4 or 5 articles about the SEC and the Ripple case and about the overreach of Gary Gensler, but she put out an article, I believe this was last week, that was called it said Gary Gensler resign. Well, they took down the article and renamed it and kind of edited it a little bit, but still a great article. So BitBoy Crypto, Ben Armstrong said, an article came out saying Gary Gensler should resign. Forbes takes it down and then gives it a new title. The fact is, though, Gary is going to be forced out of the SEC and lose his power over crypto by summer next year, and he knows it. I think he does know it. That's why he's trying so hard to do it as much as he can in the crypto market right now. I mean, he put out, before that Forbes article came out, he put out his own article saying that he treats the crypto market just like he treats the traditional markets, right? There's no difference there, right? Well, that's the biggest BS we've ever seen, because we know exactly what he's done to the crypto. He's been trying to basically it looks like he's trying to bring out an all-out war against crypto, but we know the people that have been in crypto long enough know where this is going. So he's basically trying to slow it down. And I saw something recently where there was a guy from, I think, Bank of America that was saying that what's happening is that the banks and the institutions are not ready for the total adoption of crypto, right? They don't have their hands in the places they need to be to totally make them as much money as they can on this new asset class. So they are basically trying to slow it down via the SEC and other government regulation agencies, and they will slow it down until they have, they're in better position to make as much money as possible. And I mean, that makes the most sense to me. I mean, you think that the powers that be and all the money and the institutions are just going to let this new market take hold, and all these new investors and new companies take all the winnings and the money? No, they want their hands in this one of the biggest asset classes that it's going to be in the next 5 to 10 years, right? So they will slow down the innovation until they are in the right position, so they can lead in this new asset class. And that makes the most sense to me. It makes the most sense to, I think, most people. That's what the SEC is trying to do. They're trying to slow down the market, right? That's why they're going after American companies. The biggest, arguably the biggest American crypto company in Ripple. But then there's the thing where I kind of think that Ripple knew this was coming. They were aligned, ready for it, and that's why they're putting up such a big fight. And in the end, I think that people keep saying a settlement is coming soon. I was thinking that for a while now, and I was like, maybe when the him and emails come out, we'll get a settlement. But I don't think we'll see those him and emails ever. I think they'll just keep delaying and appealing the decision from the judges, and I think that will actually outlast the case. I think the case will probably end before they even come to an agreement to get those emails. So I for a while there, I thought that it would go into a settlement sometime from September, October, but for some reason now I think it's going the whole way. I think we're going into March, April next year. That makes more sense in the whole market when you have the ETH merge coming up, and just with the way the market is looking at the moment, I believe that this case will go the full route, if you will, and I think that it will be, at that time where Gary Gensler will probably resign as the SEC chairman, and the market probably will love that, and we will have a huge moving into our next bull market next spring. So moving on to the next thing I want to show you guys. I believe this was, if we're loading, Jim Cramer. Oh my God. So this guy's been all over the place. I saw a tweet from him the other day saying that, what did he say? That the stock market was going to have a great end of the year. And then he said to basically sell all your crypto. And then JP Morgan said sell all your crypto because it's going to be a huge crash. I mean, are we really going to believe JP Morgan and Jim Cramer and listen to those guys? I think I've seen a Twitter handle that does the exact opposite what Jim Cramer says, and they've been like making money for years. So it just shows you how, what of a joke Jim Cramer is. But Jim Cramer posted, Jim Cramer says avoid all speculative investments like crypto. And I said, is this a buy signal? I mean, so here's what I think. Okay, and this is what I want to show you guys at the end here. I just want to give you my, just to let you know, this is not financial advice. Please get yourself a financial advisor. I'm not trying to give financial advice. I'm trying to just give you my, what I think is going on with the market right now. So I watched Real Vision here. Raul Paul, Raul Paul is one of my favorite macro investors that I like to follow. When he speaks, I understand what he's saying. Right? He doesn't use big words. It's like he just breaks it down in an easy, fundamental way where you can understand exactly what he's talking about. Right? He was on. This was last night. Yeah, last night at 5:30 p.m. where it was just like kind of like a live stream where you ask him questions and he gives you kind of like, his outlook on the rest of the year and what's going on in the markets. And everybody's, obviously there's a lot of fear in the markets. Bitcoin dropped below 20,000 again, and everybody's once again calling for, 15,000, 10,000. I've seen BitBoy Crypto over and over keep saying that he knows, right? He knows for sure that we're going back, at least, 15, 12,000. Maybe he said today, I think he's even changed that and said, no, it's a 20% chance that we hit our bottom and that, 80% chance that we go lower. I mean, how can you give numbers like that? Especially the guy has a track record that is one of the worst in all crypto. With his millions of followers, you think that he'd stop with the predictions, but the guy loves to give predictions. I believe he's wrong on this one too. And this is why I'll give you, and you guys can check this out, this Raul Paul live stream that was last night, but just check out the first half of it because he breaks down why he believes that we hit our bottom. And I 100% agree with this. And this is also with Blockchain Backer and what's the TMC Trades? I forget the guy's name. He's also a great macro on-chain analysis that I follow. But what they're trying to say is that, when you have 70% plus of the market right now bearish, right? If you look at the fear and greed index, we're back down to 20 something. There's so much fear in the market and there's so many people that think we're going lower that, people, we're going to have a recession. A recession is coming. I believe that in what Raul Paul was saying, that recession and the Fed hike and all this has been priced into the market. We just had one of the worst, first 2 quarters in market history, right? In crypto, worst market, worst last 3 months since 2011. In the traditional markets, we had some of the worst last 3 months in years, right? I believe that we priced in the recession, right? And I think that we have so many bearish people out there that they've already, the people that were going to sell already sold. Now the people that are crying for 10,000, they got their shorts ready to go, right? Everybody's positioned themselves for this drawdown, right? And what happens when you have over leverage in the shorts? You usually see a short squeeze, right? So when 70+% of people are saying one thing, what happens, guys? If you look at your history of the markets, it goes the opposite. You're probably going to see a short squeeze. Maybe you'll see a little dip down to that same low we had. I think we tapped 17.6, I want to say. Maybe we'll dip down to like 19, maybe 18,000, and we'll see a short squeeze, I believe. I'm not going to say like BitBoy, like I'm 100% sure of something and that this is definitely going to happen. But, if you look back at history, this is what you see. You see when people are over leveraged and everybody's calling for a huge dip, right? Just back when Bitcoin was at 3,200 back in 2018 or 2019, they were all calling for 2,000, 1,000, right? Everybody was ready to. They had their shorts ready. They were ready to get that that huge short. And guess what happened? It shot up, right? So, and look what happened. The same thing happened when we were at the peak, right? When we were at 69,000, everybody was saying 100,000, 100,000. You had 75. You had probably like 95% of the market thinking we were going to 100,000, right? And what happened? We crashed. And it's just so funny to see these predictions out there. Everybody's, they're 100% sure that we're going down to 10,000 or going down to 15,000. And Bitboy Crypto even said this morning that Bitcoin needs to go down 85%. Who says we need to go down 85% from the top? I don't believe that at all. Yeah, we are still in a bear market, but I think we go sideways until October or so, and I think we have actually, and I'll actually agree with Jim Cramer when he said that we'll have a nice rally. I think it'll probably be one of the most hated rallies in a while in the traditional markets with the tech stocks and in crypto. So like I said, not financial advice, but that's just my 2 cents on what's going on with the market, and definitely give you guys. Definitely check out this Real Vision interview with Rob Hall to get some better information. I kind of, can't explain it the way he can, so I'm pointing you guys towards this interview. Check it out, the first half for sure. But I will end the video there, guys. Please remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. But remember, I am not a financial advisor. Please do not take anything I write or say as financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. And thanks, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.